Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from Group 5 and today we are going to present our topic about title structure as one of the dimension of conflict management. Before we begin, please allow me to introduce our group members. The first, I'm Salsabila as moderator for today's presentation, and I'm joined by my teams, Aurel Bipasha Fi Clarency, Nur'Ainil Azizah, and Sein Ma Nita. Now let's begin our presentation. The first part will be present by me. Next slide, please. Uh, the first material about structural condition for conflict resolution. Structural condition plays a crucial role in determining whether a conflict can be resolved peacefully or will continue to persist. Social, political, and economic inequalities often create the foundation for prolonged tensions such as ethnic discrimination, unequal resource distribution, and weak state institutions. For the next material will be explained by Aurel. To Aurel, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. So, for my part, I will explain about functionalist perspective and political instability and conflict. In functionalist perspective, we have 5 points. Meanwhile, political instability and conflict, we have 3 points. So, for functionalist perspective, for the first one, about basic concept. The functionalist approach views society like a living organism. Each institution, such as political, economic, cultural, has a role. When one part fails, others adjust to maintain overall equilibrium. The second, structure and system balance. Social harmony depends on proper coordination among parts. When one function, like the economy or governance, fails, the system becomes unstable and prone to conflict. The third part is about functions and system maintenance. If the economy fails, for example, the government may step in to stabilize the situation. The system always seeks balance to prevent breakdown or chaos. Next part, interdependence of subsystem. Crisis in one sector can affect other, like economic crisis leading to political unrest. This shows that all subsystems must function in harmony to maintain stability. The last part, the role of value and culture. Common values act as social glue. When group lacks shared norm or identity, social cohesion weakens, creating fertile ground for political or ethnic conflict. Next, I will explain about political instability and conflict. For the first, political stability and system control. A stable political system can channel conflict peacefully. If institutions fail to regulate disputes, instability grows and may lead to crisis or social disorder. Second, causes of political instability. When government fail to ensure fairness or deliver basic needs, public trust collapses. This imbalance often results in political upheaval or long-term instability. The last part is about loss of system equilibrium. When a system cannot restore balance, people create a new one, often through revolution or social movement. This marks the value of structural conflict management. Okay, that's all from me. Back to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Aurel, for the explanation. The next part material will be present by Manita. Manita, time is yours.
Thank you, Salsa. So I wanna explain about the violent structures in the failed state. So what is the violent structure in the failed state? This term violent structure is referred to a condition where unfair system and vague institutions create harm in the society even without a physical conflict. This happens when the government or organization fail to manage its responsibility properly, leading to the social equality, corruptions, and lack of justice. Next slide, please. So this is a part of the violent structure of faults that first we have failures of responsibility when those in power cannot provide the public needs such as education, health, or job opportunity, people start losing interest. This weakens the structure of society and cause people to feel neglected or unheard. The system becomes unfair because it's no longer protect the right of all citizens equality. So the second part is hidden on structural violence. Violence here means that the silence harm caused by inequality, poverty, discrimination, or unfair access to opportunity. It is a structural because it is to build into the system. It affects people's live even if there are no direct conflict. The third part is the lack of communication and participation. In this kind of structure, people have limited way to express their problem or opinions. Decisions are often made by a small group or leader or elite without listening to the public. This creates separation between those in the power and ordinary people, and misunderstanding begin to grow. Next slide, please. And those are the last part, such as social consequences. For social consequences, when the system are unfair, individuals may feel included and lost motivated to cooperate. And it is reduce productivity, increases for sharing, and create distance between communicate. Over time, the lack of fairness and damage unity and painful interaction. The last point is connection to negotiations. True negotiation cannot happen in a structure where the people do not feel equal or respected. Before negotiation or cooperation can work, the system must restore trust, justice, and transportation. A fair structure allows all the sides to communicate openly and find a solution peacefully. Next slide, please. So I'm gonna move to the news points that talk about extra system environment. What is the extra system environment? The extra system environment means the outside condition or influences that affect from the system works. Every country, every organization or group is connected to something larger, such as the economy, culture, social, and value or international community. So next slide, please. This is the important points that includes of the extra system, such as internal influences. Internal influences is the system is always affected by its surrounding. Change in the global economy, such as the culture or environment, can influence local conditions. For example, new technologies or social trends can change how people communicate, work, and think. The second part is emotional relationship. The system and environment affect each other. A positive environment supports stability and cooperated with the negative one can increase tension. When the outside change happens, a strong system must adapt to stay balanced and responsibility. And the third part is adaptation and flexibility. In this case, it's a system that can adjust quickly to new conditions, often remain stable and successful. This flexibility allows organization and society to handle all the challenges, difficulties, painful through cooperation and negotiation. Next slide, please. And this is the last two parts, such as important for communication. Important for communication, the outside environment also include cultures and global influences. Understanding these internal factors help people communicate better with others who have different perspectives or value or different culture. This understanding improves negotiation because it encourages openness and respectful. The last point is talking about the social stability. In this case, it's very important, such as a stable relationship between a system and its environment promotes growth, cooperation, and peace. Ignoring outside inclusive Ignoring outside influences can make the system weight close or elite. Next slide, please. So this is my cover last part, talk about system and some system. System and some system are the system is a compact structure made up of smaller parts that work together toward a common purpose. These smaller parts are called some systems, such as in society. Examples of some systems included economy, politics, education, and the culture. Each part supports the other. When one part fails, the balance of the whole system is affected. Next slide, please. This is the part that includes about the system and some system, such as independent. Every some system depend on the other to function well. For example, education supports the economy by preparing skilled people. The economy supports social welfare by providing income, and politics create a law the maintaining fairness. If one area becomes weak or unfair, it will affect the rest. The second part is balance and coordination. Coordinations. A strong system is the one where all the some systems cooperate and communicate effectively. When the one some system becomes too dominant or ignores the other, misunderstanding and imbalance appear. This imbalance can create a conflict or reduce the progress. The third part is communication and some system. This it talk about the negotiation play an important role in the connecting different subsystems, such as through communicate. Problem can be discussed and solved together instead of the through competition or blames. Dialogue have aligned different interests so that every part work toward the same goal. So the last part I will cover about the maintaining harmony. So balance among the subsystems keep the overall system stable, such as the politics system, social media, and economic need. People feel sorry. I will cover about the last part is maintain harmony. Balance among some systems keep the overall system stable. For example, if the political system listen to the social and economy needs, people feel heard and included. This promotes unity and reduces conflict caused by understanding or inequality. So that's all from me that cover about the system and some systems. So move to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Nita. For the last material will be explained by Ainil. So Ainil, time is yours.
So, next material is about boundaries between states and ethnic identity. Conflicts often emerge when the political boundaries of a state do not align with the ethnic or cultural divisions within society. When borders divide ethnic groups or force different communities into one political system, competition and tension naturally arise. During the colonial era, many boundaries were drawn without considering the diversity of local populations. As a result, new governments after independence often imposed dominant language, religions, or political system, leading to the marginalization of minority groups. When ethnic or cultural groups feel suppressed by state power, they begin to demand autonomy or independence to protect their identity and rights. This struggle frequently results in separatist movements, internal wars, and long-term political instability. Next material about network analysis. Network analysis help explain how connections among various actors such as state, organization, and ethnic groups shape both conflict and cooperation. The strength and structure of these networks influence how conflicts start, spread, or are resolved. In many cases, conflict networks extend beyond national borders, linking political, economic, and ethnic interests across regions. These transnational ties can either fuel violence or provide support system for peace efforts, depending on how they are used. Transforming hostile into cooperative relationship is a crucial step in peace building. When groups that were one enemies build trust and communication, they can transition from armed struggle to political participation and shared governance. The last material is about field theory and conflict. Field theory views society as a dynamic field of forces that shape behavior, relationship, and social change. Within this field, individuals and groups act according to the pressure and influence that surround them. Each actor's positions in the social field is determined by differences in power, status, and resources. These inequalities create a social distance and affect how groups perceive and relate to one another. Conflict occurs when opposing social forces collide, producing imbalance and instability within society. Power struggles and competing interests intensify until a new equilibrium is solved. Resolving conflict, therefore, requires restoring a balance among the forces that shape society. When opposing powers find a way to coexist, a social adaptation and transformation become possible, leading to a more stable order. Maybe that's all for me. I give it back to the moderator.
Thank you, Ainil, for the explanation. For the conclusion, our presentation on structure as one of the dimension of conflict management. From our discussion, we can conclude that structure plays a crucial role in understanding and managing conflict, as social, economic, and political inequalities are often the root cause of many disputes in society. We hope that through this presentation, everyone can understand that conflict resolution is not only about stopping dispute, but also about transforming the system and structure that create and sustain those conflict. Uh, okay, guys, thank you for the attention. We apologize for any mistake during our presentation.